Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of JMMI KOGGC, Apostle David E. Taylor Exposed. I am Richard Holmes, and I'm going to put up a short video this morning here. And this is going to be with regards to David's money operation. Not only that, I'm going to talk about a couple things. First, let's talk about your death threats, David. What apostle sends death threats? Okay, first, that's one. What apostle moves his entire cult across state lines to launder money and commit welfare fraud? Good question. What kind of apostle uses multiple tax exemptions to run his scam? It's a good question also. But David, I want to get to your death threats first, right? Because you claim to be an apostle, all right? You're claiming you're an apostle, but I don't see anywhere in the Bible where the apostles wish death on anybody. I mean, if there is, David, please point it out. I would love to see where in your Taylor Testament God is your hitman. Honestly, David, put the videos back up, okay? If you can claim that under freedom of speech, okay, as you so claim, you're a prophet, right? You said you can claim that under freedom of speech. Put the videos back up, man. Put them up so we can see them. Let's see who the real David E. Taylor is, right? And you guys, August 30th was that when he called me out by name, okay? And then he emails me and says, oh, you think you got your 5 minutes of fame because I called you out? Well, I did, David. I did. And you screwed up big time. Not only did you mention my name, but you wished death on me, and then hate speech on top of that. Okay? Hate speech, big time. That's why you took the videos down, David. You're the prophet. You have all this power, David. Why don't you do something about it? You're the prophet, David. You should be able to walk into the courts and tell the judge, I have the prophet power, and I can talk like that. I mean, David, do you think that was a good look for you, or do you think it was? Did you think it was going to end out well for you? Why'd you do it, David? Why did you feel the need to come out and threaten me with death? Spin it however you want. That was a loaded death threat, David. That was a loaded death threat. I don't care which way you spin it and throw God in there, whatever. You can't use God as a proxy, David, and wish death on people. That's what you want everybody to. Oh, well, he said God, so it's not. It doesn't matter. No, David, it does matter. It does matter. It does matter. Everything you say and do matters, David, because you're supposed to be an apostle. You're supposed to be a prophet. You don't talk like that, David. If you talk like that right now, what's the talk happening behind closed doors, man? What's the talk happening behind closed doors if you're willing to come out and talk like that to me, David? What are you telling people behind your cult? You are the man behind the curtain, David. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You're the man behind the curtain. We're paying really close attention to you, David. That's what you don't like. David, this could have all stopped with 10%. 10%, David. That's what this is all over. 10%. The reason you're seeing my face this morning, David, 10%. And anybody that wants the emails in the video, let me know. Email me. I'll send you the link to the death threat videos. Share them. Let people know this is what David E. Taylor is about. He's not an apostle. He's not a prophet. He's a con artist that's managed just to slip through the fingers of the law for this many years. How? I don't know, because he's greasy. Probably. Yeah, I could see that. He's a greasy walrus. Yeah. David, I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with you, a face-to-face conversation, Mr. Prophet. What's up, David? You claim to be this prophet, dude. But yet, here you are sitting in a couch just full of feces and maxi pads. You're not a prophet, David. You're not a prophet. You are a scared little man. You're a scared, pathetic little man. That's what you are. And everything here proves it. You had to get another lawyer because you're losing all your cases. I mean, the lawyers that are suing, like, taking you on, who... Plebe in law, guess what? You're about to be taken through the ringer with this one, and I hope you guys lose a lot of money. Or not plebe in law. Or is it plebe in law? It's the other side. Dixon. Sorry, my bad. Plebe in law is the guy that's prosecuting David, and they're going to take him for everything he's worth. Dixon and Sean Dixon, dude, I don't know why you're representing this clown. Do you see what he just got put in court for not paying his lawyers, and you guys are going to take him on as a client? Yeah, real smart. Way to go. Way to go, guys. Take on a client that's been not paying his lawyers. Hey, we'll take him on. Don't worry. He's not going to pay us either. Hey, we don't care. We don't want to get paid. So that's another thing too, David. You're not paying your lawyers, man. That's why I think that's why you sent out the death threats, David, is because we put all your stuff on blast this last week, and there was nothing you could do about it. There was nothing you could do about it except bitch and complain. Oh, they put out my financial information. Well, you shouldn't be doing dumb shit, David. You shouldn't be doing dumb shit with money. Honestly, you're the prophet. You're an apostle. You're lying to everybody, David, about money, and a lot of it. You're lying to a lot of people about a lot of money, and your cult members know now. Next thing, David, welfare fraud. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about welfare fraud, David. You are committing welfare fraud. I know you are. You have all your members sign up, say they're homeless, and then you house them in the hotel, right? Now they have welfare fraud. Now they have access to public assistance. I put money on it that a good majority of the people in this cult are committing welfare fraud. Put money on it. I put money on it. Down here in Texas, I think that's why they move states, is because so they can get public assistance. Say they're homeless, and then David houses them, and then he takes their welfare from them. Takes their money. Uses it for the cult. Doesn't feed his cult members. Takes all the money and just uses it for himself. The scam that you've created, David, is very complex, and you know that. And you've done this to hide it from the authorities, and you know that. You're hiding from the authorities, David. Your whole cult is. David, I know you have criminals in your cult. I've confirmed some of the names, actually. And there are criminals in your cult. And I know some of them are being looked for. And once I find out the right authorities to call, I'm going to point them all in your direction, David. I'm going to point them all to the hotel. You cult members, let me tell you something. If David's having you sign up for public assistance and you're not homeless, because what David does is he'll have people say that they're homeless, that way they can get welfare assistance, right? But look, he's got them all living in a hotel, so technically they're not homeless. So David, he's supposed to be a church. He should be paying these people, but he's not. So here we have a forced labor operation now, right? You get forced labor, human trafficking, forced fraud, coercion, sex trafficking. David's really hit the trifecta with this cult, because David, not only have you moved your people across state lines, but you've also committed crimes across state lines, which makes it federal. So now you're committing felonies across state lines. Okay, the death threats, that's a whole different realm of threats, okay? That's criminal. And I will be pursuing charges against you on that, David. I will press charges against you. I want you to know that. I will press charges against you for the criminal and the terroristic threats, okay? Care how you spin it, David. I take those very serious. I'm not scared of you, but I am scared of your cult members, David, and I will continue to remind people of that. David, I am not scared of you, because you personally won't do shit to me. But all you got to do is tell your cult members, or one of your little fucking cult members just has to walk out to my house and just say, oh, it's God's word. Apostle Taylor. And that's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. So cult members don't even fucking dare think you come into my house. Okay? If he tells you to come to my house, think twice, real long and hard about it, okay? Don't you dare come to my house. That's why he mentioned my name, is because he wants people to show up to my house, even sends emails saying they're going to show up to my house with armed guards, David. Okay. Does that make you feel fucking big and bad because you're a degenerate, that you have to show up with armed guards and you're the apostle? What happened to these mighty powers, David? You shouldn't need any of these armed guards if you're the apostle. You're pathetic. Your threats, I take those serious, and I will report you for criminal charges, David. I'm looking up the legalities on that, and there's more coming, David. There's more coming. There's more charges coming your way from me. You can guarantee it, okay? I've already told your lawyers, hey, expect paperwork. I'm not through with you, David. We're not through. We're not through until you're in jail. You get that? We're not through until you're in jail, David. I will keep reporting on you, David. I will keep reporting your shortcomings at your hotel. David, I will use every bureaucratic mean to stop you. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about this, David. Your death threats, your threats against me, those aren't empty threats, David. Those are loaded threats, and you know it. You know it. That's why you finally had to come out and give me power. I mean, why would you do that in the first place, David? What went through that thick skull of yours that you actually had to come out and call me out by name and wish death on me? Or say God's going to do it? You're going to die, Rich Holmes. You a goner if you don't stop talking about me, man. Fuck you, David. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck your cult. Fuck Michelle, Joseph, Malachi. Fuck all those guys. You think you're Mr. Badass? Where are you, David? Mr. Prophet? Mr. General Gooch Grease? Abusing all your members, using your cult as a little piggy bank. Now you're paying off your legal fees with the cult money. Misappropriation of church funds. David, how are you going to pay your legal fees, man? How are you paying your legal fees? Are you funneling money from the church into your personal account? Paying off your legal fees? It's illegal, David. It's illegal. Everything you're doing is illegal activity, David. Everything. Everything you're doing is illegal. You know it. The one legal thing you're doing is probably just changing your pad. Everything else that you do, David, is illegal. Your money laundering, your forced labor, your welfare fraud, the death threats, the cyber crimes, everything. Money, wire fraud, David. You're jumping money through tax exemptions. That's fraud, David. That is indeed fraud. And those are felonies, dude. Those are felonies. So I want you to know, David, that I'm not stopping. You can't wish me death threats and expect to get away with it, because if you're a prophet, you would have put the video back up. But I think you're being told by your lawyers, are you fucking stupid? I'm pretty sure your lawyers told you that. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you stupid? You know people watch you, and you're going to go out and say that type of dumb shit on social media while this guy's watching you, and you know he is? You get the all-time dipshit award of the year, David. You get the all-time dipshit award of the year. Keep them coming, David. Keep them coming. You're through, David. You're finished. You know it. We know it. You lost completely on August 30th, David. David, put the video back up. You claimed it under freedom of religious speech. Put it back up, dude. Put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Prophet. Put the video back up, David. I don't think you will. I know you won't. I know you won't, because you've been told to take it down by your lawyers, no doubt. Right? Have you been told by your lawyers to take the video down, David? Put it up. You're a prophet. You claimed it was freedom of speech. Put it up, dude. Put it up. That being said, go ahead and end it here. Just, 12, 13-minute video here about David committing crimes. The death threats, okay? Death threats. You got welfare fraud, money laundering, tax fraud, tax evasion. You got human trafficking, force fraud, coercion. The trifecta with David. David, you will go to prison if your health lets you. So please, David, use the gym. Get on a vegan diet. Eat healthy. Eat some more fruits and vegetables, all right? Put down the burgers. And eat healthy, man, because we want to see you in prison.